And now it's time on the Ron Johnson Show for the Daily 3. That's 3 questions, 3 minutes. Sam, take it away.
I don't want your kind of draft high to wear off, Ron. I think it'd be really sad if you walked out of this night feeling gloomy. But is there an outcome tonight for the Vikings that would leave you downtrodden? Would you be upset with any result coming out of this first round?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're doing the show. We're doing the pregame show tonight on Fox 9, and then we're going to head over and finish out the night on Vikings Twitter in their streaming platforms, Facebook, wherever you find it. We're going to do a breakdown of the first round of the draft. I would be completely defeated or disappointed if we don't even make a pick in the first round, whether it's somebody forgot to turn the card in and we have the old, like, Vikings have to miss their pick and now they're dropping back to 13 now. Not to say the guy they want anyway is going to get taken at 12. I feel like the guy they want still going to be there at 20 even. But yeah, if they somehow trade out and try to like mass a bunch of second and third round picks and next year's first round picks, and I get the next round because people keep bringing this up about next year's first round. They think it's going to be better and more talented, more quarterback latent possibly when you look at Alabama's quarterback and a couple other guys in this college class, running backs as well in this college class for next year. Guys like Mo Ibrahim and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'd be defeated if they did not pick in the first round. Like if they traded out of the first round because they had an attitude of, the guy we wanted, he went too high, which was Stingley Jr. Hamilton went high. Because again, everybody's like, Hamilton's going to be there 12. He's possibly going in the top 10. So if any of those guys fall to 12, like Justin Jefferson fell to 22, you take it. But yeah, I'd be a little bit down if they somehow trade out of. So there's not a lot they can get me down besides they trade out of the first round. Or if they do some weird thing and pick like a kicker or a punter in the first round, a la Janikowski. I don't think there's a guy out there like that right now. I know the Vikings fans would love a perfect Janikowski type kicker or a Matt Stover or a Vinatieri. You know, I know they want that kind of guy, but there's nobody out there right now in the first round worth it. So in that aspect of the draft, I'd definitely be disappointed they took a kicker or punter. But other than that, I'm excited about this. I've been waiting on this. It's a lot of work to do this weekend. We're working all the way up to Sunday night. I think our last show Sunday night is at 10:30 p.m. So it's going to be a long weekend. I already got my Starbucks gift card, so I'm looking forward to that, and my Caribou gift card. I'm an equal opportunity NIL spinner. So looking forward to going to Starbucks and Caribou to keep me energized. But other than that, man, like I wouldn't be disappointed in anything else. Whoever they draft, I think, defensive line, if it's Jordan Davis, if they can get Stingley, if they can get Kyer Elam, I think the way this team already has the pieces in place, it's just like that piece of that puzzle piece you're looking around the house for. It doesn't really matter because the puzzle's done, but it will help complete the puzzle.
So we just did a simulation where we got through 20 picks and there were not any quarterbacks taken. I don't know if that's how it really plays out, but the over-under, the official over-under on quarterbacks in the first round, 2.5. So if you were placing a bet down, Ron, are you going over or under that number?
Oh, that's tough. See, because the problem is once one comes off, then it's a domino effect, and then other guys scramble. I'm going to go over. I'm going to say 3. I think 3 quarterbacks in the first round is a safe bet. You look at Pickett. You look at Willis. I get Sam Howell, I guess, but he's more of a runner than a passer. So, man, I just talked myself back into 2. Like it is a tough one because when you're looking at these guys, and I printed it out for quarterbacks. Of course, they're at the back because I don't need a quarterback at all. But you got Malik Willis, you got Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral. That's the one I was thinking of. Matt Corral or the Ole Miss. You know what? I'm going to go with the under, actually. I just talked myself out of it. I'm going under. I'm going to go 2. I think 2-1. Kenny Pickett, Willis, I think are the only 2 kind of first-round locks. Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell, definitely second-round picks. The only way they end up in the first, again, like I said, if somebody panics. If somebody picks a guy and panics. But in my mocks, I took Carson Strong in 1. I took Jack Cohn in 1, but they told me that was a terrible pick. You can go 3 Ron Johnson on Twitter. You can look at all 5 of my mock drafts from last night. They told me Jack Cohn's an F. Don't pick him in the 6th, 7th round. So I'm going back to my Carson Strong. I was able to get him in the 5th round, I think, one time. And then I also got his teammate Cole Turner as tight end, and they gave me a B for that one. So I think that it's 2 now. I'm going to go 2 because of all the other athletes in this draft. You look at Edge, you look at DN, like you said, Thibodeau all of a sudden is jumping up there now as one of the top picks. You look at, Booth Jr., who possibly can jump in the first round now. You got Trent McDuffie, who probably can jump in the first round, where, Kayvon Thibodeau was 6. Now they have him going second to the Lions. I mean, it's crazy. Evan Neal was second. Now they have him dropping down to the Seahawks. I mean, you just really don't know where it's going to go. Aiden Hutchinson was the overall 1 lock. So who knows if that's going to be it? I mean, it's so Derek Stingley now, like I said, is a top 5. Ahmad Gardner still a top 3. Kyle Hamilton's still up there. Garrett Wilson is in the top 10. Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa. Like I said, I was able to get him. No, actually, he was my first round pick at 20 one time. So I got him at 20. I think you did say he was there when I could have just picked. But I did not pick him in that one because I really wanted a corner. But I did on one of my mocks, I did take Tyler Linderbaum because he was still there at 20. I wouldn't be opposed to that, honestly, because we talked about Bradbury and them not extending his 5th-year option. You get Linderbaum, you can put him at center. He's young again, so in the second contract, he's small though, under 300 pounds. But in his zone read, we saw that with Kubiak. You don't need large offensive linemen for this.
Yeah, he's supposed to be one of the most sure thing center prospects in years. I think that the quarterback bet comes down to pick 32. I think it comes down to Detroit with the 32nd pick because they're one of those teams that could easily go QB. Probably not with number 2, but with number 32. I could see that tipping the over versus the under. One more draft question for you here. There are 2 Minnesota native edge rushers. That's pretty rare, and they both could go in the first round. Jermaine Johnson played for Eden Prairie, and Boye Mafe from Hopkins. Would you like either one of those prospects in purple?
Yeah, and I printed out the stuff about Boye Mafe. Yes, I would take Boye Mafe. Here's the thing, though, about Boye Mafe. He reminds me of, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Terrell Suggs. He reminds me of Terrell Suggs, undersized, though. So in this 3-4 defense, he's a good outside edge rusher. If Jermaine Johnson's there at 12, yeah, you take him. You take him in this defense. Reason being, Danielle Hunter can play the 5. He doesn't always have to play the outside edge rush. He can play the 5. Jermaine Johnson as well can play the 5. So in a 3-4, you only need 1 linebacker on the edge, which is za'darius. You can move Danielle down in more of a 5 and not a standing up lineman. He can stand up as a backer sometimes outside, but he also can put his hand in the ground and be a 5 technique because he is big enough and strong enough, as well as Jermaine Johnson will be too. So I think it gives Ed Donatel just the ability to move guys around. I mean, we talked about depth. When the Vikings were good, they had 6 to 7 legit D linemen that they can get in and out of there and switch up. That's what they have to get back to. They have to get back to the legit big guys. They have to get back to the legit group of guys where they can switch guys in and out, where when one guy is tired or gets hurt, we're not like, oh my goodness, season's over. I'm not opposed to either of those 2 coming to the Vikings. Jermaine Johnson's there at 12, take him. If Boye is there in the second round, like I said, if you make that trade and you get that second round pick, and Boye is there in the third, you for sure take him. But they're saying he's a second round pick right now. So if he's there, I take him as well.
I think Mafe is an awesome prospect. Super, super athletic, good size. He's still pretty young. Jermaine Johnson makes me a little more nervous because he was kind of a one-hit wonder at Florida State. He didn't do really anything at Georgia. Kind of needed until like his age 22, 23 season to really break through. He's on the older side. Makes me a little nervous, but he's crazy athletic as well. Maybe a little more ready to just step in and have an immediate role. And it's cool that he's local. I mean, Minnesota produces an occasional lineman, like a Frank Ragnow. But not many edge rushers come from Minnesota, and there's 2 of them that are going to be taken on these first 2 days. That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and that's the thing about, again, with a local kid like Jermaine Johnson. I know when Frank Ragnow got drafted, everybody was trying to go out to Chanhassen and be at his house when the Lions were going to pick him. I know him and his sister, so I see them both at Lifetime Fitness all the time working out. So I was there that whole week watching him. He came in there and shot basketball with us for a little bit. Actually, not a bad athlete for a lineman. Like, he can move with a basketball in his hand. So he is a guy that was athletic. But yeah, Jermaine Johnson, same thing. It's always good to get local kids. I think it helps overall the state of Minnesota. And Boye Mafe for sure helps the Gophers. I'm wearing my Roll the Boat shirt today in honor of those kids getting drafted from Minnesota. You got Boye Mafe. You also have the gigantic Falele. Daniel Falele is going to get drafted as well today. So, good luck to those guys. I remember my experience. It was a fun one.
All right, quick bonus question. What do you think about Las Vegas as the site of the draft?
I watched a lot of tweets this morning of people saying either they woke up and they're ready for the draft, or they still see people that have not gone to sleep. And so that's what I think it's fun. It's definitely fun. I'm glad we have not heard anybody like passed out on the strip drunk, nobody getting injured, no fights. I think it's a fun location. I think it's well worth it. Today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Mainly today, tomorrow. So, because most people that like go there are not going for the draft today. They're going for the party tonight, and then the Friday night party and the Saturday night parties. So it's going to be absolutely bonkers there at one point this weekend, Friday, Saturday. I'm pretty sure at the pools and all that stuff as guys are getting drafted, because all the sports books and the outdoor pools are going to have the draft on the big screen. So I like it, but I just hope people stay safe, because, that person passed out at the slot machine, and then forget, I got to be on TV in 2 hours. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the disheveled conversations of people, talking about their night, not today, but tomorrow, because that Thursday after the draft, you got all night to party. There's going to be a ton of sponsored parties there tonight, tons of draft picks that are showing up tonight that are going to have their draft parties. Friday, when you see those reporters and people on TV, that's going to be the true story of what happened on Thursday night, because what happens in Vegas stays on Vegas unless you put it on TV. And then we all get to see the crap storm that happened in Vegas. But no, I like it.
Yeah, I think it's funny because there's so much betting on the draft now, right? So in Vegas, obviously, people are going to be wagering on the draft. So are we going to hear groans from the crowd as Goodell announces the picks, people who lost their bets? That just introduces a whole new dynamic.
Yeah, the first pick is definitely, I think the first 5 you can prop bet, but the first pick for sure is a prop, and just like you said, the 2.5 quarterbacks. So people are waiting to 32, praying with their ticket in their hand, like, please draft a quarterback, Lions. Please just do it for my money. Or opposite, people that bet the under. They're sitting there. So I don't think if you see groans, I think you'll see some people cheering regardless and some people groaning, because there are going to be people that everybody's going to bet weird stuff just to try to. I saw a guy that just bet 5 cents on a parlay. The parlay was that the Bulls Milwaukee game have to finish 116 to 100, not the total points. This dude bet the exact amount, 100 to 116. He bet the right score with the right team winning, and then he bet that Giannis, that was the parlay, Giannis would have the first bucket. Dude won 18 grand off 5 cents. He turned a nickel trying to, I think that was a song by Jay-Z or somebody, like trying to turn a nickel into $15. This dude turned into 18 grand, or trying to make a nickel out of 15. But yeah, that was a song. Somebody's going to find that. Tweet that out when you find that song. But he turned a nickel into 18 grand with the parlay. So I'm looking forward to some of these parlays from the draft that people are going to try to make. Why not? It's 5 cents. You get lucky, you win. Great. Somebody said that was a Back to the Future bet. I believe it, because I watched Back to the Future yesterday. It was randomly on TNT before the basketball game started. And I truly believe that was somebody with Michael J. Fox in the DeLorean, and they made a good bet.